Wow! What's going on, everyone? Thanks for tuning in and watching. This for a podcast with a little bit of rock and roll and, of course, a little bit of ADD. Anyways, I'm TJ.
I'm Robin. Oh, that might be my favorite intro so far. Just oh man.
I don't feel tardy.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. How are you boys? So you've probably noticed we're down one, so we can't help but poke fun at him.
I tried to salvage that, Robin.
Oh, it was perfect the way it was. It was perfect the way it was.
I was on the spot.
But yeah, how are you?
I'm good, man.
Good.
I feel like the week just flew by again, as usual.
Always does. It just feels like it's just flying by nowadays. So.
And the weekend, for that matter.
Yeah. I just kind of want things to slow down for a second, because I just want to play catch up. Because I leave this weekend I won't be here next week on Tuesday, so I'm out, and I'm just like not ready to leave yet. I've still got so much I got to do.
How do you think my July felt?
Yeah.
I don't think I was in town like any weekend except like last weekend, and then I was still found something to do.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, but a lot of your traveling is like by choice, not for work.
True, but if I could get paid to travel.
Of course, that's the dream.
That is good.
So, but yeah.
So, where are you headed, Robin?
I'm heading out to West Texas.
Texas?
Not the city of West, but the actual physical location of West Texas. So.
Next to the old New Mexico?
Not that far west. I'm not going to El Paso. I'm going to a place. Going to a place called Fort Davis. So, it's.
What song was it? El Paso. Who's that by? My dad loves that song.
I don't know. There's several.
Old El Paso, I have it on my phone. El Paso. Know I should know his name. Marty Robbins. Boom.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm not surprised. It was him. So yeah, there's several great songs, probably by people from from Marty Robbins' generation that have reference to El Paso. So.
I just know like the El Paso salsa or whatever. Like the commercials with the El Paso. I think it's El Paso. I could be wrong.
You mean Pace?
Yeah, El Pace.
It's just Pace.
Oh, I don't know. I thought it had something to do with El Paso. Maybe it's bottled there or something.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't ever really eat Pace. In Texas, we don't really do brand salsa because there's so many places here that just make their own.
There goes them on the podcast.
They don't have anything to do with music.
What you drinking there? Chocolate milk?
Guinness.
I was gonna say, is that Guinness?
Oh,
American Guinness?
Yeah. Someday I'll have an Irish Guinness beer. So.
Dude, maybe it's because I was younger. But anytime like someone does like Irish carb, I'm like, I can't do Guinness. I can't choke it down.
Really? You can't drink Guinness?
No, like I couldn't. Like I did the Irish car bombs, but I just like I was like I could handle the Baileys and stuff, like Irish car bomb, like whatever. But the Guinness, I was like. But when I was over in Ireland and I bought a Guinness, I'm like, oh, I can't say no. And I had it, and I was like, this is really good.
It's totally, for everybody that I've talked to, they say it's a totally different beer over there.
And I didn't think that could be a thing, but it's a thing.
Yeah, it's much creamier, from what I understand, or like it's thicker is the best way that people have described it to me.
To me, I thought it was like smoother, easier to drink, like thinner, not thicker. Like,
weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just had a luck of the Irish, if you will.
Maybe. Is that better, Tosh? Is my mic up loud enough now? Or maybe I just need to talk louder. So.
How's mine? Am I good?
Yeah.
I got green.
Yeah, you're good. We're matched. I don't know why, but mine was like my little dimmer bar over here was way down. So I don't know when I did that or would have done that, but I don't know. I'm hoping that Zach joins us from wherever he is.
Or is at least listening.
Yeah, is at least listening and being like, good Lord, these guys are messing this all up.
I would have done that in Pigeon Forge for you guys or Gatlinburg, but I had no service, so
yeah.
I couldn't really do that.
I would have just loved to have
well.
gotten like the text across the screen, just like, "What are y'all
Just
doing? This is terrible."
Or asking you guys questions.
Oh yeah, because I can add comments to the broadcast. It'll like pop up. So for like answering a direct question, I figured that out a few episodes ago. That I was like, oh, I can add this to the podcast, and so if someone asks a question, I can like push this button, and it'll add it to the screen so that everybody else watching will see the question.
Look at you figuring things out, Mr. Podcast Runner Engineer Guy.
No. But yeah, and it's better, but TJ is louder. Yeah, he's probably louder, Tosh, because you're literally in the same building with him, so you can probably.
Oh no,
hear.
she's in Wisconsin.
What?
I'm just kidding.
Oh, I was like, Wisconsin. All right, I'll just turn my mic all the way up, and we'll just see what happens there. Maybe,
get that like stadium
this'll...
like announcer effect.
Yeah, the stadium announcer effect. I mean, I can do something like this and give it that echo.
Yeah, no. That's for the OnlyFans.
Oh Jesus.
Dude, I don't know what we're gonna talk about tonight, but I'm looking through some of my notes of just random things I come up with.
It's add it to this. Okay, I'll add this to the screen, Tosh.
This is okay. What do we got?
She just asked a question. She just goes, "What's your favorite Miley Cyrus song?" So this is. I think she just wants to see it on the screen.
Yeah, let's see it, Robin.
Well, it's on my screen.
Is it there? Oh, I can't see it.
No, it's not on the Skype thing. It's on the So if you tune into the show on like your phone or something. But what is your favorite Miley Cyrus song? I have a specific one.
I mean, here's the deal. Born in the USA, like, how do you not like that one?
Party in the USA.
I said Born in the USA. That's not Bruce Springsteen. Hey, there's my moment. You finally got it. We get alone, and it gets weird.
It's funny because I put Bruce as the required listening for this episode.
Born in the USA. What I was thinking of her other song. I didn't want to like it, and it's still. I thought it would be better, but when I listened to it, it was like it's predictable. But it was the one she just did with Billy Idol. Like I only like it. That's probably my favorite.
Heard it.
But she did it with Billy Idol. What is it? Midnight or Vengeance? Fuck.
I don't know. I haven't heard it yet, so.
I'm gonna have to look, and I'll pull it up quick. It'll come to me probably while I look.
That's
Night Crawling.
Okay, yeah, I need to check that out. Okay, that's interesting.
So,
I don't like that.
I didn't hate it, and I think it's my favorite just because Billy Idol's on it. But it was almost predictable. Like Billy Idol's only in there for a snippet, and I was like, I was waiting for it. Like, and I'm like, all right, let me guess. Billy Idol comes in, does a few things, and it's back to Miley, and it was.
Yeah, we when I was.
But I don't have that many favorite Miley songs because I don't listen to enough. Maybe I need to like go back in the catalog, like Hannah Montana days. I don't know.
I mean, there's probably some hidden gems in the Hannah Montana stuff because it's Disney. So like Disney always goes hard at like the weirdest times with stuff, like a Goofy movie. One of my favorite songs of all time is the Eye to Eye from a Goofy movie with Tevin
I think
Campbell.
we talked about this, but I really wanted a Powerline shirt for the longest time. And then once Target came out with them and stuff, I'm like, and I saw like a kid that was like, maybe he watched them. Maybe he watched the Goofy movie. Maybe he loves Powerline. But I was like, it's ruined for me now. I can't get a Powerline shirt. I'll probably still get one eventually.
Are you being hipster now? Like, oh, now that kid's got it, now it's cool. I don't want it anymore.
No, it's like one of those, like, to me, like, it is like one of those things. It's like a meme now, too. It's like, oh, yeah, name 3 songs that Powerline did.
Right.
Like, it's like, damn it.
Yeah.
They probably can't name it, but it's like, at least they're wearing the shirt, in a sense, too. I got 2 sides to that.
Yeah. I've actually never seen a Powerline shirt.
There's a bunch of them. Target was, like, the best place to buy them recently, though. They're like $10, $12, or like 2 for $20, whatever. But back when I was looking, it was like $50 to buy any shirt you wanted that you thought of, because like the 90s were over and like the internet was still coming up.
Yeah.
And now it's like you type in anything, you're like, huh, I would have done a better version of that shirt, but I appreciate that you did it.
So I have to answer this question that was just asked. It says, so where is TJ today? Well, TJ's on the screen. We're missing Zach. Zach is somewhere in
In planet Earth.
Yeah,
I believe?
he's somewhere on planet Earth. But he
We
may join in. He may not join in. I don't know. We don't.
He was gonna join in.
Yeah.
But then
He's
now he might not.
he's in transit between two locations. So that's all we've been cleared. That's all the clearance level we're allowed to know.
I must have done a really good intro for people to think I'm not here.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's funny that you made the mistake of Born in the USA, because I just, ever since we started back up after the little break we took in June, I've started putting like required listening in the little description.
I've noticed.
Yeah. So this week I just kind of looked over and I was like, okay, I need 3 things to put in here. So I put Bruce Springsteen, Letters from Ashbury Park. I put Green Day's 21st Century Breakdown, which I love, and then I put Black Flag's Nervous Breakdown EP, just because there's 3 random things that I just looked over and was like, oh, okay. So yeah, it was just funny that you mentioned Bruce Springsteen, and that was who I happened to put in first.
Yeah, I think how my brain worked on that one was I was trying to think of the Billy Idol, Miley Cyrus song. I had the B, and then I had the Born in the USA, and then that's how she goes.
Oh, they asked the. Okay, I misunderstood their question. They were thinking that you were out traveling again, so they were just wondering where you were.
No. Oh, just got the nice collection downstairs with the DeLorean painting back there.
Oh yeah, and the
Back to the Future 2 over there, and then Jim Carrey over there.
Yep, I saw the Jim Carrey one. That's a pretty great.
Number 5 of 300. My grandparents got it for me like 12 years ago. Oh, geez, nope. I'm old. 22 years ago.
Nice. Yeah, so I don't have too many paintings of stuff, but I have this. It's probably one of my favorite things I've ever purchased, and it's not stupid. It's just silly, and it's a little kiwi.
For a second, I thought that was one of the Angry Beavers.
No, that's what I thought that when I first saw it was. I
That's
thought
when
it
you
was.
bought it. You're like, oh, Angry Beavers, and you're like,
And
no.
then I got closer to it. I was like, oh, it's like a kiwi bird. And then the guy like explained it to me. So I met the artist and he explained it to me. And the title is Business Kiwi. And I was like, okay, I don't even care what this is. That is just too silly not to have. So I bought it. I was like,
Speaking of silly,
It was
you
cool.
guys got to go see Jungle Cruise. And there's a perfect, like, terrible dad joke.
oh my
There's a
God.
bunch of them there.
Is it good though? I've heard several people
Uh,
say it's really good. Like,
It's really good. Like, so I just expected, no offense, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, like, your movies are all great, but I just expected another, like, solid movie.
Mhm.
This one was awesome. Like, fun. It was like, this is how I described it. And without talking to anybody, like, after the movie, I went with, like, parents, grandparents, and Tosh. We all said, like, Pirates of the Caribbean meets The Mummy, all in one.
okay. I saw it and I was like, okay, I like Emily Blunt and I like Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Okay, I'm curious about it. But yeah, well, I'll have to go see that. We just watched a movie called The Mitchells versus the Robots. It's an animated movie, and it's one of those things where it's like, okay, this shouldn't be. It looked like it's an animated movie, so it looks like it's meant for kids, and it is, but it's so well done that it's entertaining for everybody. It's just a really funny movie. And then we watched another movie called Gunpowder Milkshake.
These are very odd titles, but I'm intrigued.
So the Mitchells versus the Robots, it's like a good, like, wholesome, like, family film with just great comedy in it. Danny McBride plays the father, like, voices the father.
I love Danny McBride.
I think, is it Maya Rudolph voices the mom, I believe. But yeah, that's just a good, funny film. And then you've got Gunpowder Milkshake, which is the exact opposite. Like, not meant for children. It's basically like a comedic female version of John Wick.
Interesting.
Yeah, except it's nowhere near as action choreographed. It's still got a lot of action in it, and it's really good, but it's not that stylized. But it's just funny, and it's got Karen Gillian
Oh, from what's her? She's in Jumanji, and then
Yes.
I always
She's
forget her name.
Nebula.
And, like, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, she's the blue girl, Nebula from the Marvel movies.
Because I was like Gamora, and then I'm like, what's the other one's name? And it's Nebula.
So, but yeah, she's kind of, and then Lena Headey's in it, who was Queen, the Queen in Game of Thrones, the mother of the Lannisters.
Still never seen a single episode.
Okay, she's in it. I always get her. She has the same mouth as Keira Knightley. She always doing that thing with her mouth that Keira Knightley always does. And then who else is in it? The girl from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Cannot remember her name.
Nor can I, because I think I only saw bits and pieces of that, like when it came out, and I was like, oh, I get it. It's like The Matrix, but in the jungle, kind of.
And then Paul Giamatti is in it.
I love Paul Giamatti. Yeah. He's in Jungle Cruise too.
Oh, nice, dude. He's such an underrated actor. Like,
on that note, have you ever seen Sideways?
A long time ago.
So good.
But yeah, that was so he's in it. But yeah, those are the three main characters. And it was one of those where, like, my roommate and I are watching it, and just throughout the movie we're going, this shouldn't be this good. Like, it really shouldn't. Like, it's a dumb name. The acting is not really that great, but it's just enough of that, like, comedic timing of everything that it's like a really good movie. If you go in knowing that it's going to be like a stylized, like, it's meant to be that. It's not trying to win Oscars or anything. So
those are the best movies sometimes. Sometimes those movies win Oscars.
Oh yeah. So I mean, that's how I tell everybody to watch what was it? Any of the Fast and Furious movies. It's like, look, these are not meant to be just like amazing timeless classics. These are just really good.
I'm just waiting for Fast and Furious in space.
Go see Fast 9. They go to space.
Oh.
But the best part about Fast 9 is that, like,
spoiler alert, everybody.
It's kind of a spoiler alert, but it doesn't ruin anything about the movie. Just Tyrese Gibson's character throughout the whole movie just keeps, like, bringing up, like, all the shit we've been through, and we have no scars. We have nothing. Like, what is it? Why is this happening? Like, what is this? So it's the whole movie. It's just mocking. It's kind of this just mock of all the previous movies. So it's fucking hilarious.
Man, that franchise really. And thanks for tuning into Movie Detention.
Yeah, right.
But that franchise went, like, the first one was good, like, kind of like a cult classic, I guess. Even, I mean, it was, I think, solid box office. 2 was Tyrese Gibson and Paul Walker. 3
I liked it.
But then 4, was it 4 that kind of brought everyone back?
Yeah.
And then I was like, all right, we're just gonna do one of these, like, once a year, once every 2 years.
Yep. It just turned into a over the top budget action film.
And they're like, hey, The Rock's in. Oh.
No longer. He's probably leaving the franchise.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, he did Hobbs and Shaw or whatever. That was a solid movie too.
Well, that was because it didn't have the regular people in it. It had actual action heroes.
Huh.
Speaking of action heroes, did you ever see the movie Last Action Hero?
I love that movie. I own it. Blu-ray.
I haven't seen that movie in forever.
I just watched it a couple months ago, actually.
Great movie.
I was like, you know what? I'm gonna watch Last Action Hero. Great soundtrack.
Yes.
Speaking of rock and roll.
Yeah.
Great soundtrack.
Okay? I gotta look this up. Who is on this soundtrack?
I think the Bullet Boys, I feel like, snuck into a few movies. I wouldn't be surprised if they're in there.
Let's see here. Music. So you've got.
Did Extreme sneak into there? Because I felt like they snuck into a few movies too.
Okay, so you've got AC/DC, Alice in Chains,
yep.
Megadeth, Queensryche, Def Leppard, Anthrax, Aerosmith, Alice in Chains, Cypress Hill, Fishbone, Tesla, and then Buckethead with the Los Angeles Rock and Roll Ensemble and Michael Kamen.
I think that might have been like the outro or something at the end of the song or something, or that movie, and it was, oh man, it's a great soundtrack.
And Tesla's doing the song called Last Action Hero, so they like wrote the theme song for the movie.
It's very corny but awesome, and like a great little idea. Like, dude gets a golden ticket, but it's not Willy Wonka's golden ticket.
Yeah.
It's just the movie theater's golden ticket, and he gets into the movie.
Yeah. It's such a great one. Tosh, to answer your question, yes, I have seen The Boys. I love The Boys, and yes, I do agree. It has a great soundtrack. Have you watched it, TJ?
I gotta catch up, but I do like the soundtrack so far.
Oh, it's
like every time I've seen like even just a titch of the episode, it's a good song. That's like the Umbrella Academy. We talked about that. That has a great soundtrack.
I love that the Umbrella Academy is basically like a covers album, but it's all covers. The artists who are doing the covers are just artists you would not normally think that would do that song, and then they do it in a way that's just so different than the original. I love that.
I forgot what band did it, but we talked about this. The Billie Eilish, Bad Guy.
Oh, the Interrupters.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, the Interrupters are
awesome.
One of my current favorite bands. I love everything that they do. They can't do any wrong to me.
They better keep it up.
So they just released a live album, and it's pretty good. I think that the one thing that they did, I was like, okay, that's a little... they overdid the echo, like the ga 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 on the voice. So like it's just like she had a button that she was pushing over and over again, turning on and off.
We were watching it. It was like, I know that song, but I don't think it's an old song.
Right.
I was like, oh, now it makes sense.
And I thought that the first version that I heard of Bad Guy was by the Interrupters. So I thought that Billie Eilish had done an Interrupters cover. And I was like, oh, that's cool. But it was the other way around.
Oops.
Yeah, my bad. My bad, guy. Yeah, so speaking of Bad Guy, interesting little fact. I was watching an interview with Phineas, Billie Eilish's brother, and that on the chorus, right after Billie goes, I'm the bad guy, duh, and it goes, that thing is a basic crosswalk. Like in Australia, I think it's in Australia, when you push the button for the crosswalk, when you're allowed to cross, it does this, and he just recorded it, and that's the thing in the chorus of Bad Guy. I was like, that's hilarious.
Just the little subtleties sometimes.
Well, and that's actually, it was him that made me go back and actually like listen to Billie and actually check out what they were doing, because she's grown on me a lot. I was like, okay, I actually like this. I didn't like her at first. I was like, oh god, another weird pop star, just what we need. But once I started actually listening to what they were doing musically, I was like, okay, I'm intrigued. This is interesting stuff. The same thing with Dua Lipa. Yeah. I really like her most recent album. Not the remix version, not the club version that she did, but just the regular Future Nostalgia album. It's fantastic pop album. So,
well, Billie Eilish has a solid voice too, like a smooth voice too.
When she sings, I wish she would stop doing this like breathy thing and start actually singing. I know she's singing on one of her more recent songs, and I'm like, thank you.
Which one is it?
It's one of the newer ones. I can't remember it.
No, I gotta think.
Yeah.
Usually I'm on top of my game.
What is her new?
Usually I got time to think, because you and Zach can ramble on.
Oh, whoops.
Interesting. Is it when the party's over, or is it
when you? I think it's when the party's over. When you type in Billie.
Or Everything I Wanted. One of the two. She sounds great.
Yeah.
Either way. Yeah.
It's interesting when you type in Billie into. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Never mind.
I was gonna say, yeah, come on now.
I typed in Billie, but I spelled it like Billy Joel. And,
yeah, you gotta type in Billie.
Yeah. I typed it in, I was like, wow, she doesn't even come up. I just typed it wrong. So
That'll happen.
That'll happen when you spell things wrong. I wish I had I need to get a record player and like plug it into my little soundboard right here, and then I can literally just start spinning records. Like we could like talk about it for a second. I think that'd be cool.
Well, I'm looking. I don't know what we've talked about, but I have like these notes that I keep throughout, like since we started this, just stuff I think of and just add it to the notes.
Oh, what was the name of the band that was you sent us or Zach sent us or the band from? Was it probably Finland?
Hungry?
Hungry, yeah. The what is it? Bullet to the Heart.
Yes, by blah blah blah. Is it Bullet to the Heart?
Stardust.
Stardust.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it because I was like, I always think of Ziggy Stardust, and then Stardust.
So did you ever listen to Pretty Lights?
Pretty Lights doesn't sound familiar.
Okay, so I found this album. Like I'd heard of them, but I found this album, and I'm always intrigued by art, like album artwork. So
Pretty Lights.
Yeah, but it's like a whole thing, and you get the vinyl, but you get this whole thing. And so I was reading about like what he did on this album, and he basically wrote a bunch of music, brought a band in, had them record the music, and then he took all the individual tracks, put them into Pro Tools, cut them all up, or Ableton or something, cut them all up, and made new songs out of the songs that he wrote. And I was like, okay, that's fucking interesting. Like, that's pretty wild to do that. But he was an interesting guy, so I like dug into his thing because he's more of that like, he's electronic music, but he's not dubstep, although he's done like certain things that sound like that. It's like more laid back electronic music. Not so
That's,
far as like 07.
I don't know if I've ever heard that sentence my entire life. Laid back electronic music.
Yeah, he's got some. It's like, what's the new thing? Is it chill hop or trip hop? No, not trip hop. Lo-fi.
I've heard a few like I guess you'd call it electronic bands or songs recently, but it's like the Nintendo like 80s kind of. They're all incorporating that.
Yeah,
sounds pretty solid.
Some of the electronic artists of today are kind of piquing my interest. It's curious what they're doing right now, with their music. Like him, I mean, this album, I think he was one of those guys like Deadmau5 that was kind of like ahead of his time, because I mean, like this was 2013, and a lot of what he did on this is what people are starting to kind of do now. So
ahead of his time,
a little bit, not too far, but a little bit. I remember seeing him at ACL like a decade ago, and finding his set very interesting. But what else?
So I have a best parachuting movie scenes as a backup for talking about stuff. And I have Power Rangers.
I was just about to say that. I was literally like the Power Ranger scene with the skyboard. That's it.
And Point Break. Those are like my two. I can't think of any other parachuting scenes, but I thought that was funny.
Never seen Point Break. I'm kidding. I've seen Point Break. I'm kidding.
Jesus. Oof. Johnny Utah.
I mean, Val Kilmer was great in that movie. I'm kidding. I know it's Patrick Swayze.
I mean, there's been times.
Val
Kilmer looks like there's a interesting documentary kind of deal on him. Either coming out or
I think it's
just Val.
Yeah, it's just Val. I think it's on Hulu. So
kind of want to watch that. There's so much to watch these days. Like when you own every streaming service too, it's like, ugh.
Yeah, what do you watch? There's a bunch of stuff to watch and nothing to actually watch.
Like, do I learn about Bigfoot or do I watch Jungle Cruise and pay extra?
Did you pay extra and watch Jungle Cruise?
No, I actually went to the theater and I was like, damn it, I should have just paid extra because it cost me more money to go to the theater.
Wait, Tosh, you've never seen Point Break? Wow, TJ, you fail.
No, I don't fail. She's a grown adult.
All right, Tosh, you fail. Go see it. It is quintessential.
It's probably on one of my streaming services that I own.
If you don't know what it's going to be on, you can go to a website called justwatch.com and type the movie in, and it'll tell you where you can get it.
Google's usually pretty good at it too.
And what was it? Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. We had to I had to like buy it outright because it's literally not available anywhere. So
it's on Paramount Plus now.
yeah, now it is. It wasn't.
Yeah.
So all right.
Hey, Point Break's on HBO Max. Anyone wondering? Let's see. I think I got that too. I don't know. Yeah, HBO Max. Point Break. No blood. You're good.
Yeah, I don't know what. That's like right when we started the show, I was like, my nose just started like dripping, and I'm like, no, what are you doing? So
Something in there.
something.
Man, I've got a lot of notes that I haven't looked at for a while because I just make notes for.
Yeah, when we first started this, you sent us notes, and I was like, dear
I was
God,
like, Jesus. Yeah.
this is a lot. But I don't know. I've been going through my vinyl collection and just kind of looking at things going, I need to get a record player and start listening to these things again.
I hope I add to mine before my next official, for sure, vinyl's coming. But which is the Darkness new album
Oh, they have a new album coming out or came out or
in October
of last year?
Yeah, of this year.
Oh, it's coming out. Nice.
Yep. They had the album Easter Was Canceled come out. I think it was October, November of 2019. Then Easter was pretty much canceled because of the old COVID thing.
I think my most recent thing that I got that I loved that I found is an original.
Thriller.
Yeah. So
that's a rare one because it wasn't mass produced or anything.
yeah, I found an original of that at Half Price Books.
I think I got one somewhere. I don't know what I did with it though.
So that's cool.
I've got White Lion. I've got Ozzy, Blizzard of Oz, White Snake, Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin,
Good
Def
ones.
Leppard. I gotta add.
Yeah.
I gotta add to the collection.
I have the best of Rod Stewart.
I mean, as long as Do You Think I'm Sexy is on there, you're solid.
I think it is.
Oh, no
no!
way.
He's tuned in!
Oh!
Oh my God! Hold on! Oh my God, he's
What's
here!
I'm here. What's up, boys? How
Hey,
y'all
I think you're the
doing?
first one to wear a mask on the show too.
All right, there you go, man. I did the best I could. What's up, man? How y'all doing, boys?
I did the intro, bro. I butchered it a little bit.
How did it go?
Zach, turn your phone sideways.
I'll try.
There we go.
Oh, Robin, you're frozen, bro.
Nope. I'm here.
Oh my gosh.
I can
Dude,
hear you, Robin, but you're not moving.
You're the one frozen on my screen.
Uh-oh.
I literally like almost missed this flight. I don't have too much time with you boys, but I at least wanted to chime in and say what up. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yeah.
Oh, we got you.
All right,
You could
good.
scoot your phone back a little bit from your face.
Well, dude, there's someone behind me, so I don't want to get. Anyway.
This is like the one time a selfie stick would come in handy.
Just walk around the airport doing a podcast with a selfie stick.
Absolutely. You know what? I may. No, I gotta be able to see my gate. I'm sitting at a few gates here. I'll sit over here. How's that?
Nice.
There we go. That's a good look. What a day. What a day. What a day. What a day. What are we talking about, boys? What's the topic?
We're doing.
We talk about movies and what else do we talk about? Music.
Yeah,
and
music and more movies and
vinyl and
yeah.
And you and
There you go.
We've been telling
Guinness.
we've been telling everybody where you are. So
Well, you're too kind. You're too kind. Cool. Well, favorite movie? I'll know the answer to that. It's Rockstar. Really? That's the silence.
Well, I keep looking at Robin because he's frozen. He's just like this on my screen.
I'm moving on my screen. So.
How about YouTube? We all moving?
Yeah. I mean, I can add applause in, Zach. So like when you say, Rockstar's my favorite, I can add applause in for you if you'd like.
You're too good to me, man. You're too good to me. So, dude, how's everyone's week going?
Quick.
Yeah.
Hey, Robin, you were moving.
Yeah, I'm moving again.
You're moving again.
Dude, I'm getting some massive Where's Waldo vibes from you, TJ.
What was that?
Your shirt's striped.
Oh no, I never brought this up because USA won the Gold Cup on Sunday, so I had to represent.
Righteous in hockey?
No, in soccer.
Soccer.
Oh,
The men's cup the men's soccer actually finally did something right.
Yeah,
right.
and hopefully that means Mexico won't boycott us, and we can still have tequila.
Yeah.
But...
So.
Dude, I was at a liquor store today with one of my buddies. He got some really good tequila. If you're ever at Total Wine, check out something called Soledad, top notch, and then also, of course, Avion 44. It's
Yum.
Awesome.
You ever tried El Padrino or Cazul?
Cazul?
Yeah.
I haven't had Cazul, but I always see Padrino. Is that any
That's
good?
good. That's really good. I like that Nejo. I can't vouch for the other ones, but...
Right on.
my ears kept trying to tune into what that lady was saying over the loudspeaker.
Yeah, like is Zach gonna miss his flight? Do we need to push him to his gate?
I'm sitting at gate 11, and I'm at gate 12, so I can see my gate. So we are good. My flight first was supposed to leave at like 9, and then it got pushed to 9:30, and now it's pushed to 10.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Oh, dude, it's party on, Wayne.
Party on, Garth.
I thought of y'all the other day. I watched a movie with my buddy. It's called When We First Met with Adam Devine.
Oh yeah, that's not a bad movie. Is that with what's her name? Alexandra Daddario or whatever? Alex Daddario?
I don't remember their names, but he dresses up as Garth, and that's why I thought of that.
Is that with the photo booth or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah. That was solid. I saw that when it came out.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna say, Molly, if you're watching, we should go as Wayne and Garth sometime. That'd be great.
Dude, that's like if I'm taking like girl applications, I want a girl to either be like Sandy with me, Sandy and Danny from Greece, or
Wayne and Garth
for sure.
Or a little bit of both.
Why would you get me a gun rack? I don't even own a gun.
That's one of my favorite lines, man.
I love one of my favorite scenes, like in a movie at all, is the one where Garth puts on Foxy and is like doing the dance. Foxy.
Absolutely, dude. You know what this feels like right now? I feel like I just hopped onto a podcast and I'm like in between tours right now at the airport, and I just tuned in real quick to say what up to you guys, and then okay, peace.
Why did you like? You could have
We
kept.
should just have all our guests do that. Be like, I can't. I'm touring. Be like, well,
you could have kept the illusion.
Other people have done it.
I mean, that is what I'm doing, but I just what I mean is like where I'm not the host.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
I took care of it. Just wait till you hear.
Yeah, just wait till you go back and watch the beginning.
Oh Lord, did you go? Yes,
Yes, he did.
Dude, were you mocking me?
No,
not at all.
I was trying to do it perfect.
We would never mock you.
I could see you doing something like, "What's up, guys? This is."
Oh my God.
Dude, you totally made fun of me, didn't you? These are my friends, folks.
But TJ, Natasha wants you to either be the Goblin King, and she'll be Sarah, or you be Beetlejuice and she'll be Winona Ryder.
It's tough to pull off because I got this long hair. I got to figure it out.
The Goblin, well, you could get a wig for the Goblin King.
I need some bangs. Then I'd have to have bangs.
Or the Tiger King.
God damn. So many people have been the Tiger King. Please don't be the Tiger King.
I mean, that was like
That's so
like-
2020.
in March. Everyone's like Tiger King, and then in April, everyone's like,
Who?
was that like 3 years ago?
Have you gone back and looked at all the stuff that happened in 2020? Like all of the like pop culture events? Like it's
And
crazy.
the trends,
Yeah, all the trends and everything that like popped up. Like it's
like the TikTok trends.
all of them. It's like
Dude, I did 2 TikTok trends this weekend.
why?
I saw.
The feta cheese pasta, it was amazing. You know, that was really good. And the those potatoes where you smash them and then bake them in the oven, get them real crispy.
That's not a
Potato cookies.
okay. So I don't refer to those as TikTok trends. Those are just references. Those are food ideas.
Recipes.
Yeah, food. You get those on
It's trending
Instagram.
somehow.
You get those on Instagram. I'm talking like the trends of like you had Tiger King. I don't know why he's the only one that I can think of right now.
WAP.
But yeah, you had like all that stuff, all those things that became trends and
Have you seen the videos of people singing like WAP but in like a really pretty voice, and then they put their mouths on people who are sleeping?
yes, yes.
That's a WAP, 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 WAP. Make you WAP. It's pretty funny.
That is pretty funny.
Especially if they have like a baby, and the baby's mouth is moving.
Yeah, you can like it's TikTok does have some funny filters that
Oh, totally, dude.
But dude, some of the funniest comedy I've seen in a long time, has been off TikTok. Like
Yeah,
like
dude, that's
I
the video I sent you last night. I was dying.
which yeah, you did send me one. My friends and I are trading things all the time. I'll have to go back and
He didn't watch it, Zach.
No, I did.
Oh, he did, because he responded like 30 seconds later.
Yeah, I don't.
And
Still
it was a
remember
2-minute long video.
No, it was like
What's that?
TikTok's only. Well, they can do 3 minutes now on TikTok, which is dumb. But yeah, I mean, like when Vine was a thing, I thought Vine was genius because it forced you to have to be creative in
Quick.
6 seconds. You had 6 seconds to make a video. That's it.
What happened to Vine? Like they just disappeared.
It just died.
I mean-
yeah, because Instagram started doing reels.
There.
So
Yeah, but reels are short.
Reels you can go long with reels.
Yeah,
actually.
I can put up a.
That's what I meant. Reels are long. I don't know why I said short. I'm exhausted.
But yeah, it was. Yeah, I think that was the devil because originally when Instagram started doing reels around the time of Vine, they were only 15 seconds, and so it killed Vine because it gave people 15 seconds instead of 6, but it wasn't as funny. So then TikTok came along and you get 30 seconds to a minute. Now you can do 3 minutes, which is dumb. But
Can't wait till we can do 20 minutes.
oh, you mean just making a YouTube video?
Yeah, that's called YouTube, pal.
Yeah.
It's called Get a Podcast Like Us.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Duh. So
Dude, so what's the? Obviously, I can't say what it is. But do we have any news on October?
Nothing yet. All I can say is that how do I put it nicely? Not the easiest of persons to figure things out with. Not our bud, but other people ish.
Gotcha.
But I don't know who those people are. It could be whatever.
Well, now they're not going to be on the podcast.
I didn't say anything about anything.
oh, we lost him.
Just
Wow, do
Oh.
you see how badly you offended him?
yeah, I guess so. No, that's airport. That's airport Wi-Fi. Oh, he's back.
Oh,
And he's back.
I'm not even using airport Wi-Fi. I'm using my LTE.
Oh,
Oh, there's your problem.
you're not even at an airport.
Yeah,
so
there's
I
your
know.
problem. You're using LTE. You need to be using 5G.
Okay.
Yeah.
Robin, it stands for long-term evolution or whatever, so it's fine.
Long term. That's not what it stands for.
I think so, or something like that.
I don't know.
I think so. Could be. 'Cause it's like, we're always gonna keep making it better. LTE definition.
I don't know. I just know that they've started testing and installing.
Yeah, long-term evolution. Boom.
Oh wow.
roasted.
I don't know what that. Okay, that's a weird acronym.
Well, I think it's more like what their plan was like, well, we'll just call it LTE because we'll just keep getting better with it.
Yeah.
And they're like, screw this, 5G sounds way cooler.
They've already started testing out 6G here in Austin.
What?
Well,
Yeah. But the problem with 6G is that its distance is incredibly short. Like it's something like 20 or 30 feet.
How about this? Whatever's NASA's using to contact everything, how about we do that? I want that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, gentlemen, I see people lining up. I'm so happy.
But you got about another hour then.
What's your boarding
I have my
group?
guitar with me.
What's your boarding group?
A, but A.
Oh, of
A.
course it is.
Oh,
Of course you.
yeah.
Okay, sorry. You're A. Our bad. You're cool.
Zach A-Tack.
There you go.
And I just want to make sure my guitar has a place to sit, so so that
That's
band.
when I travel with my guitar, I always pay for priority, so I can put it in first.
Love you,
brother.
boys.
All right.
Thank y'all for partying on without me, and everybody watching. Thank you, and love you, and see you soon.
All right, see you soon.
Peace.
All right, now that the riffraff is out of here,
Hey.
before we were so rudely interrupted. And what were we talking about?
I honestly don't know.
Yeah.
We were Patrick Swayze, Val Kilmer, Val.
Oh yeah, we were talking about
Yeah.
Val, and I watched there's this cool thing on Netflix. I can't.
There's a cool thing on Netflix.
Yeah, it's called
Get out of
the movies that made us. I think it's called The Movies That Made
Oh
Us.
yeah. Oh, they got the toys that made us too.
Yeah, they have the toys that made us, but then there's the movies that made us. We watched the Ghostbusters one today.
Ooh.
It was really good.
I think I've seen that one.
So if you haven't,
There's also oh yeah, go ahead. Finish
I was
your
going to
thought.
say to those listening, to all three of you, if you haven't seen this show, check it out, because it's really interesting because it's like 45-minute little documentaries about 10 different movies, all these massive films like Jurassic Park and Ghostbusters and Back to the Future and stuff like that. So
There's a lot of good stuff out there, and then I think there's a documentary. It might have been on Netflix originally, but now I think it's on like Paramount Plus or HBO Max or something.
mm-hmm.
Well, it's the console war, so it's like the consoles throughout time. Like
Oh,
it starts with Atari, and then it's Nintendo, and then all of a sudden Sega wants a little bit in on this and all this stuff. And
yeah.
that's pretty cool.
And then he just gets the PlayStation. It's like, well, everything else is just everything
Yep.
else. Like, and then I need to watch He-Man, the new He-Man.
As in like the old
The old cartoon. So Kevin Smith, the guy who did Clerks and Dogma, he remade He-Man, and you've got Sarah Michelle Gellar and Mark Hamill.
I remember.
And
Yeah, who's voicing He-Man though? I remember hearing about this actually. What was that, Masters of the Universe or whatever?
yeah, He-Man, Netflix, cast. So He-Man is Chris Wood. And then you got Lena Headey as Evelyn. You got Sarah Michelle Gellar. You've got Alicia Silverstone.
Wow.
You got Kevin
Was this
You got Kevin Conroy who voiced Batman the animated series. He was Batman.
Sounds like the 90s.
Yeah, and then you've got Mark Hamill as Skeletor. So
Nice.
yeah.
He's actually a really good voice
Oh,
actor.
he's
People don't
amazing.
know.
He's the Joker.
like-
He's the Joker
Yep.
from the Batman the animated series. I mean, like, you know, before him, Jack Nicholson was the quintessential Joker. I mean, you had the Joker in the '60s show with Adam West, but that was more comic booky. Well, comic booky in terms of the '60s. But then Jack Nicholson comes along and says, you know, Tim Burton film does this dark thing, and then you watch the anime. Like, so my roommate just has been watching the animated series again, just kind of going through the whole thing. First of all, one of the best theme songs to a show ever, in my opinion. And then you watch it and you're like, yeah, okay, it's definitely like a kids show, but it's super dark for a kids show in terms of being a kids show. And then you have someone like Mark Hamill playing the Joker.
Well, that's why I like the video games that came out with like Arkham Asylum
Yeah.
and all that stuff. Those Jokers are pretty good voice acting too.
Those are the same people from the animated series. Almost the entirety of the cast. So that's
That
Mark.
would make sense.
That's
Then.
Mark Hamill doing the Joker, Kevin Conroy doing Batman, and yeah, those are all. Is it 3 of them? There's Arkham Asylum, Arkham Knight, and then I think there's 3 of them, and they're great. Arkham City is one of them. But yeah, they were, oh man, and that was like, I think that was the last time Mark Hamill made like a big thing about it, because he was like, I absolutely love this character, but once this 3rd video game comes out, I'm done. I'm not gonna voice the Joker anymore. He's like, this is a fitting time for me to bow out of doing it. So
I like that guy.
like, I would say that if we could ever get Mark Hamill on here, I'd say like, make a damn exception. Like, we're gonna go to movie detention today. Like,
well, hey, I mean, we talked about having like Pauly Shore on one time.
You mean Nick Swardson? Oh no, we've talked about Pauly
No.
Shore. That's right.
Yeah, but Pauly Shore's got his own band now. Pauly Shore and the Crusties.
What?
Yes,
Pauly
sir.
Shore has a band.
Yeah, he does like covers like once a week. It's fantastic.
Oh my god. Doesn't he run does he still run a comedy store or comedy shop or
I don't know. I know his mom or dad, I think, owned the comedy store, like the comedy store, the club, like
Yeah.
I don't know if he inherited it or
because didn't he do
sold it or...
didn't he have a show for a while called minding the store or running the store or something like that?
Could be.
Yeah, I don't know. All I just remember is
I miss the '90s, and I wish I could have seen more of the late '80s. That's what YouTube's for, but still.
Yeah. So are you, speaking of the '80s?
Speaking of stuff, hold on. Yeah, speaking of the '80s, been reading the book in the sauna because that's what I do in the morning. I get up, I go to the sauna. Nothing but a good time. It's like this thick, and it's like, it's not. How do I explain this? There's chapters to it, and I guess I expected more of like this was the '80s and like a little biography kind of deal, and then like little snippets here and there. It's literally like they almost pick a topic and they go on this little tangent about it, and then there's interviews from like people that were in the scene at the time. So it's like, Stephen Piercy, you got Wild Mick Brown from Doc, and you got Slashes in there. You got just about anyone, but I haven't seen all the names, but like Tommy Lee, Nikki Sixx, Mick Mars, like they're all like interviewed, and
who wrote this book?
I can't remember the guys, but no offense, please don't take offense to that, boys. But yeah, nothing but a good time. I bought it when it came out, and I didn't get around to it until after Matthew McConaughey's book, which is another good book.
I have that sitting on my shelf. I have that on my shelf right now. I need to read it. I've got a line of Star Wars books that I'm trying to catch up on now.
It's an easy read, and it's good too.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I've literally got one.
So yeah,
2,
nothing
3,
but a
4,
good time.
5.
The uncensored history of the '80s hard rock explosion was written by Richard Beinstock and Tom Bajor. Sorry if I butchered the names, but it's fantastic. I'm like on the back's like Dee Snider, and on the front's like Motley Crue and I think like Randy Rhoads and Ozzy and Bret Michaels. Let's see if
Damn, that looks like a good book.
it's fun. I'm enjoying it.
I haven't read a biography.
Fittingly enough, I stopped on page 69 in the song as well.
That's funny.
I was also in there for like 30 minutes. I was about to faint, so it just kind of happened. But
no, there you go. There you go. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't read a documentary. I haven't read a biography or watched a documentary in a while. I need to watch a few more of those.
Well, I'm weird too with like books. Like I used to kind of read all the time, but even like back in school, it was like, all right, everyone, read your 100 pages today or this week, and I'd be like, and then I'd take the test and I'd read like 2 pages. Like I just never like a reader, and then. But if I'm in the sauna, like doing nothing,
yeah,
I'm gonna read a book.
I didn't become a reader until college. Like I'd read a few things, But because people were like, you need to read, you need to read, you need to read, and they were like requiring it, I was like, no, I don't want to do this. I want to do
That's
other
called
things.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Or Audible.
Or at that point in time, it was called Spark Notes.
Yeah.
And my junior year English teacher was the one that was like, all of my tests have been written with Spark Notes in mind, and that's all she told us. And then we get to the first test, and I failed it almost completely because what she had done is she'd read the book and she'd gone through the Spark Notes, and every question that she asked was specifically not in Spark Notes. So you had to read the book in order to get it. And I was like, oh, okay, I see how you're doing this.
On the contrary, I was supposed to read Tequila Mockingbird.
Mm-hmm.
Did not read a Tequila Mockingbird. I just called it a To Kill a Mockingbird, but To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah.
And got, what was it, 90 out of 70 on my quiz. You heard that right.
Yeah.
Like 90 out of 70 because there's an extra credit question. And I think it was like, what'd you think of the book or something like that?
Yeah.
And I was like, it was good. I really enjoyed it. This is like in high school.
Yeah.
And I got it back. I'm like, oh, maybe that answer salvaged like a passing score. And I was like, oh,
90?
well, I guess, I don't know. I'll add it to my other stuff.
So there used to be a recording studio, and maybe there still is. My mom's still tuned in, so she'll correct me if I'm wrong. But there used to be a recording studio in here in Austin called Tequila Mockingbird.
Ooh.
So since I was a little kid, I'd known about the studio. So when I got to high school, I'd never realized that it was a play on words to Tequila Mockingbird. So I kept referring to the book as Tequila Mockingbird, and my teacher was like, why do you keep saying that? And once I explained it, she was like, oh, that makes sense. So that's how every time I see or hear Tequila Mockingbird, I think in my head, Tequila Mockingbird.
Well, that's easy to remember.
Yeah.
Like that.
So I'm surprised that no one's made a tequila called Tequila Mockingbird.
I wonder what that would do, like copyright infringement or whatever. I mean, technically, I think there's something called like dumb law or something like that, or if you make fun of something.
Parody law.
Parody law.
Yeah, that's why there's a Starbucks in
Dumb Starbucks. That was
yeah.
Nathan Free. Ever watch that show? That show was hilarious.
Is it Dumb Starbucks or
Yeah, it's Dumb Starbucks.
Yeah. And it's literally like 3 places down from the original Starbucks in Pike's Place. And it's called Dumb Starbucks. And they were able to get away with everything because it's all parody law.
Yep.
What was I was looking this up. Tequila Mockingbird. I want to know when. 1960s. So
I was gonna say
copyright law I think runs 75 years. So 60, 70. That's 10, 80, 90, 2000, 2010.
Like 2050? Or no, 60s, so 2040? Depending
no,
on when it came out.
No, I think that... So 2020... Yeah, it's like... So 20... Yeah, 2035 is when the copy... I think it becomes public domain or whatever, I believe. I know with music it's 75.
But 2035 we'll be big enough to start our own Tequila Mockingbird.
Yeah, we'll start our own tequila.
You heard it here first. And now, and this is, I don't know how we copyright this, but hey.
I wouldn't be surprised if someone's made a tequila called Tequila Mockingbird.
I'm Googling.
Me too. I'm Googling. We're Googling, people. We're Googling.
There's a cocktail recipe. I'm very intrigued now.
Tequila.
Cocktails. Hold on. Cocktails with a literary twist.
So there's a record called Tequila Mockingbird. It's an album by American jazz pianist Ramsey Lewis. If you haven't heard Ramsey Lewis, he's fantastic.
Okay. This doesn't sound bad.
Dude.
One slice jalapeno, 3 watermelon cubes, 2 ounces silver tequila, or I'm sure to taste, whatever, or your own tequila. Little lime juice, and some agave syrup. That sounds bomb. I'm bringing that back. 90s, bomb.
Okay. That actually does sound good. Damn. We need to start. I want to start doing like rock detention drinks.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. I've started doing the required listening in the
On the Rocks with Rock Detention.
There you go. Boom. Done. Copyrighted now. So I know that I've started doing the required listening thing of just picking literally 3 random albums a week. don't shoot me if I start repeating myself, because I don't know. I'm not actually writing these down on a thing of like, oh, I've already done this one. But yeah, so I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, oh man, we should start doing like, you know, like a weekly, like a rock detention drink, you know, something like that. I don't know.
I like it, but now I just spitballing in off the top of my head on the rocks with rock detention.
Yeah.
And then we could do it from the beach or something, like on the rocks.
Yeah, on the rocks. Like do it for the beach where it's a bunch of rocks, like, you know, the pier. on the rocks with rock detention. We're gonna teach you how to make a drink that's on the rocks here on the rocks. I don't know.
I like it. I'm with you.
Um,
we almost filled up our 69 minutes so far.
I know. We're at an hour and 6 minutes. I
don't want to go like big into like deep topics or anything. I was just looking at some of my other stuff, and I got one category: top 5 video game soundtracks, which is gonna be tough. And then some people will be like, well, Halo or whatever, but I've got the old school ones.
Top
like
5.
Donkey Kong.
Oh yeah.
Donkey Kong Country, like Super Mario, Mega Man X, Stone Protectors, Battletoads.
Dude, Sonic.
So many good ones.
Yeah. I just love that there's a band out there that has been doing the 8-bit, or is it the 16-bit big band? It's either the 8-bit or 16-bit, and I found out that my uncle plays in that band.
That's awesome. You ever listen to In Flames?
Yes.
They did, what was it? Eye the Mask, that album? Was that Eye the Mask?
I don't know.
They did an 8-bit version of it. Like, you have Apple Music. I know you do, because we always send stuff to each other.
So, if you like video game soundtracks and whatnot, check out the 8-bit big band. And so what it is basically jazz big band arrangements of, like, video game stuff.
Yeah, Eye the Mask arcade version. I'll send it to you right now.
Okay, and so they did an actual, like, 8-bit version. Like, so that's actually, like, a digitized, like, 8-bit thing, right?
Yeah, so I'd almost do, like, listen to the actual Eye the Mask album.
Yeah.
Or maybe do it arcade version first and then be like, okay. And then be like, oh, damn.
Right?
It depends on what you're feeling.
Yeah.
But, like, I'll listen to it, like, because I listen to the album all the way through, and then when I hear, like, the little 8-bit or the arcade version, I'm like, yeah, in my head, I'm like, oh, this is heavy, but still video games. It's like, hell yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'll check that out. I'm trying to think of, like, other things. Video game wise, you know, because it's like I play a ton of video games, and the soundtrack, like the original Destiny soundtrack was really good. The new ones are okay, but the original one was really good.
Speaking of video games, I gotta say it. I just battled the game for better part of like 2 months, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I got time, I hadn't played it in forever, but then I got back on this kick like since I was finally had some free time recently, and just got frustrated as hell. But I finally beat Bloodborne, and the voice acting in that was pretty good too. I don't know about a soundtrack, but holy shit, that game frustrated me.
Well, that's a Dark Souls game.
Yeah, I didn't know. Like, yeah, I know people talk like, you ever play Dark Souls? I'm like, no, but I'm like, oh, Bloodborne, $10, Target, and I'm like, oh, it's supposed to be really good.
Yeah.
It took me like an hour to get past like the first like intro, not like skipping through stuff, just I couldn't beat it.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, went from.
I gave up on that game eventually. I played it for a while, and it's just weird. It's just a weird game to play. But I did enjoy. I enjoyed the craft of it, like the art of it. It was really cool. But yeah, I just after a while, I was like, okay, like I like playing like there's games that I like to play for the challenge, and then there's games I like to play for the story. And when the challenge becomes greater than the story, then I kind of check out, and I'm like, okay, you've lost me.
There's a few times where I'm like, you know what, I need a Nerf padded controller because I'm about to throw this thing and I don't want it to break.
Yeah.
They bring up Nerf.
No, they make a thing.
They used to, or they did, but yeah, I know. But like that's gonna do anything. It's not gonna be Nerf enough.
I don't know. It's like this.
No offense.
Have you seen it? It's the one that's like blows up and you stick the controller in it, you stick your hands in it.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I just know. I think Nerf actually came out with like a controller with a grip, so we're like Nerf.
No. This is a new thing. It's basically like it's the same material of like a blow up tube.
So it's like a little GoPro case kind of deal.
No, it's like a little inflatable pool raft thing
Yep.
that you lay on. It's the same material as that. The little plastic stuff. You blow it up, you stick the controller in it, and then your hands are like in this circular thing, and so you're playing. Then when you get mad, you just throw it down, and it bounces all over the place.
Sounds like a terrible idea because then you'd be like prone to throwing it all the
Oh,
time.
yeah.
And like no self-control. You'd just be throwing shit everywhere. Like, oh shit, they didn't have the Nerf protector on it.
Yeah, I think in my adult life, I threw my controller a lot when I was a kid. But I think in my adult
I think
life,
every kid did.
I think I've only thrown my controller once, and
I've given it the little
remember-
flip up, but man, that's
no, this was like a I threw the controller, like I broke the controller. I can't remember what game I was playing either, but because I remember I had to turn the music off because the music was getting so intense, it was just like making me, I couldn't focus. Because I kept listening to music.
I could see either way with that because sometimes I'm like, music, I got this, and then there's other times I'm like, shit, can't.
I love the running joke of like, you know, you get to the boss and you start listening to the music. You're like, oh, this is cool, and you always know it's gonna be a really tricky boss when the orchestral music comes in and then the choir comes in and they're singing in Latin.
Yeah, when it picks up and it gets
like
more
really
intense.
It's just like, oh my
The
god.
metronome's going like this.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit.
That's, oh man, there's what was it? Oh, speaking of video game music, so I was watching the Olympics, and on the opening ceremony, they had the music from Kingdom Hearts playing behind it, and I was just like, okay, that's
that
cool.
Game that's one of those games that I probably would play again. But I rented it from Redbox thinking, how hard can this game be? I'll just run it for the night and play it, and then I'll just return it.
Yeah.
Like, I should have owned it by the end of it because it was like a $24 Redbox fee later. I'm like, oh no, I still have it. I gotta get this game back. I'm like, screw this.
Well, and
should just bought it.
like Kingdom Hearts is one of those games of just like, the music is like masterful. I remember like searching high and low for that soundtrack, and I eventually had to order it offline. It was like the first thing I ever bought offline.
Disney characters too.
Yeah, it's the one with Disney. It's Final Fantasy and Disney mashed up basically, and but it's the thing that really, in my opinion, that really destroyed that whole game series is the fact that it's not on one console. You have to have, it's like the core games are on PlayStation, but then there's expansion ones that like expand the story, but you have to play those. They're all on like Game Boy. It's just crazy. Like they put them on like all different systems, and it really, in order to like understand what the hell's going on, you have to play them all. So you have to buy all the different systems. So it's kind of crazy, but
I just like that you can play with like Donald Duck or whatever.
Like, yeah, and he never fucking heals you when you're playing. He just stands there, and I'm like, you're the wizard. You have healing magic. Heal me.
There goes Donald Duck being on the podcast.
But I digress. With the video game talk, because I can go on and on about that. I've got an entire drawer. I think I've got most consoles starting with the Nintendo 64 on. You know,
I gotta break out my Super Nintendo again one of these days. I love Super Mario RPG. Is still my favorite game to like this day.
The first game to ever make me like throw a controller was Mario 64.
Really?
Yeah. Because I mean, like, when that game came out, I was 6.
I think mine was, like, Pilot Wings.
The Pilot Wings was another one. But then the one that really irked me was Crash Bandicoot. That was the one that I just, like, I would get so frustrated playing that game.
I just went back and beat all 3 of them. And then now there's a 4th, but I haven't picked it up yet. Is it out yet?
Yeah.
I think it's out.
Yeah.
Is it on the Switch, though, or is it just PlayStation? I can't remember. Whatever. This isn't video game detention.
Yeah.
But
that was some good music, too, on the Crash Bandicoot soundtrack.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's just fun music. That was a
very, very frustrating game.
Oh my god, platformer games, man, they're nuts. But yeah, I'm trying to think like top video game soundtracks. I mean, Halo's a masterpiece in terms of soundtrack, and if you want to talk about a video game that changed the way that video games and music like coexisted. Halo, like look into how they incorporated the music into Halo, because it was one of the first games.
say technically James Bond would have a good soundtrack. 007, Goldeneye.
James, they have good soundtracks, but it was the way that the music was incorporated into the game. So like, I believe, I'm probably wrong, but I believe that Halo was the first to make basically it's like a dynamic music thing. So depending on what you're doing and where you are, it triggers different things of the music. And so, oh my God, Zach, you are absolutely correct. We should be talking about Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's a great fucking soundtrack.
They're remaking. They did remake.
Yeah.
This is how
1 and 2.
I can't keep track of it.
Yeah, I've played them. It's good.
It's not the same as like sitting at home on the PlayStation.
Yeah. Well,
with your buddies.
And the sound, they expanded the soundtrack for this one, for the new ones. So there's some really good stuff on there. But yeah, those were really good soundtracks too. I just remember because it was the only place that I could hear Goldfinger's Superman. I just go into the game and just sit there and just listen to the song.
That's what, like, NHL 03 had a song I liked. I'm like, I don't know who this is, but I love this song.
Yeah.
I like just keep doing the replays and stuff. I'm like, nice.
Yeah. I love that you could go in and like take out, like Tony Hawk was one of the first ones too that you could go take out music you didn't want to hear.
Yeah.
And like customize the soundtrack. That was fun. What else was there? Tony Hawk was one. I know that some of the baseball, the MLB games had some good. Some of the sports games had really good soundtracks.
Oh yeah.
Rocket League. Have you ever played that?
Yeah. So I avoided playing it for forever, and finally played it with my buddy, and then recently they released the DeLorean.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, it's a free download. I might as well get the DeLorean. But the DeLorean was only there for like a week. And I missed it. And I was like, son of a. But then they had the Jurassic Park Jeep. And I was like, okay, I'm in. And I played a few games. And I went like undefeated right away. And then I found actual little kids that can play. And I'm like, oh, never mind.
Oh, yeah. It's not. It's definitely one of those things that I'm just like, okay. I'm not a competitive person. My girlfriend got really good at it. I didn't. I was like, I'm terrible at that game. But I've scored 6 goals in a game, but still, it wasn't. Some of the people you play against, you're like, good God, is this all you do? Yeah, some of the guys that I've seen play that game are just nuts. And then there's also, every time I play it, I'm like, man, I wish I could do this in real life. This would be fun.
Oh, hell yeah.
But the soundtrack for that is really good. They have like, you can go in and they have like 8 or 9 different like album collections of stuff, and so you can select like, I want to listen to this one and not this one, but I wanted to pick songs from this one and this one and this one. So it's or different playlists. I shouldn't say albums anymore. The youngins don't know what albums are, just playlists. But those are really good. Speaking of playlists, have you seen this new thing that's happening where people are taking like famous movie scenes? The one that I saw first was the Ron like the scene in Harry Potter where Ron gets an angry letter from his mom, and so it's like the letter's like screaming at it, and so some person took that scene and found songs with and basically word for word basically found songs with the titles, made it and just made the whole scene. In a playlist.
I've not seen that, but that sounds
weird.
Delightful.
It's weird, and it's just funny that that's a trend now. Like, who has the time to go find all these different songs to write out that scene, basically?
I say that about a lot of things, but I'm kind of happy that people do have some time on their hands.
Yeah, some people.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes no, sometimes yes. So.
Like, quit playing Rocket League and make me one of those videos.
Yeah. All right. I think we've hit our 69-minute mark.
Yes, sir.
But I've got a lot of stuff to do before I leave this Friday, so I'm gonna.
We'll enjoy West Texas, not New Mexico West.
Yeah, not that far west. Not crazy west, just enough to get outside of weird.
I mean, in fairness, Texas is huge, so
yeah,
west could like outside. Yeah.
From one point on the east to one point on the west, it's literally 12 hours. Like,
oof.
Yeah.
And I thought Illinois was tough to drive through, or Georgia, just like straight down.
Oh yeah.
It's like 6 hours for each or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. Like the distance it is from Austin to the edge of Texas when going to like Nashville is almost the same as it is to go all the way like from the edge of Texas to Nashville. Yeah. So
Crazy.
yeah. But all right, man. Well, have a good week, and I'm gonna miss y'all next week. So
Yeah, what the hell?
you know, I got it. It pays.
Well, then I'll be at an airport on the 17th.
There you go. So
24th, I think we're all here though.
yes, 24th we're here. We'll have a guest.
Do you have one lined up? Because I just did get a confirmation.
I don't have one lined up for the 24th.
Then we got one lined up.
Woo! Who's our guest?
Paul Liddell from Dangerous Toys.
Nice. So we will have Paul Liddell on in 2 weeks.
Hopefully I pronounced that right. Hopefully it's not Liddell or Liddell.
Oh, I said Adele. I heard you say Adele.
No.
Liddell.
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 I don't know. We'll find out. Tune in on the 24th to find out how you pronounce Paul's name.
And well, hopefully it's Paul too. It's not Paul.
Yeah. But cool.
Dangerous Toys will be required listening for that one.
Oh, absolutely. It'll be required listening. So.
They're good, man. Yeah, I don't know. Like, subscribe, do all that stuff. Yeah, it's weird without Zach, I suppose, because I don't know. Anyways, yeah, like, subscribe. Love you all. Thanks for tuning in. All million of you, or I'm sure
1
somebody
million.
left already.
1 million people tuned in tonight.
1 million. Yeah, that's about all I got. Anyways, Robin, way to carry the show. And over to you.
We did it. It was a team effort. We carried this show.
44 episodes in, eh?
44 episodes. 44 is still going. So, yes, those are fully automatic Nerf guns. I know none of you are wondering because you're regulars.
For none of you wondering.
Yeah, because you're all regulars. You already know. But I don't want to let it die. So, much like the batteries in those Nerf guns have probably already died. So, but yeah, follow everything. Shameless self-promotion. Go follow me. If you're in Austin, I have a show on the 20th, and I would like everybody to be there. So, please buy tickets. But yeah,
all of them.
We'll see y'all next week. Well, they'll see you next week, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Figured out.
And it'll be fun. So, alrighty. Obviously we don't have a guitar. There's no outro on this one. And
you can say class dismissed, or should I? Is this still on?
Class is dismissed, and once I say class dismissed, finally I'm gonna click on the finish button. So no, it will not still be on. So
okay.
this thing is turning off right now.
Right.
So class dismissed.
Love you guys.